Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. Okay, so those of you who are new here, go ahead and subscribe. Those of you who follow me for a while know that I have a phrase, and that phrase is more pretty than the man is handsome. I feel that men should seek a woman who is more pretty than he is handsome. Now, why is that? It's because we're looking for the integral of the thing. Or actually, we're looking for the derivative. What does that mean? That means the average over time, in a sense. So, say a 20-year-old man were to get with a 20-year-old woman. In time, his value as a man and the things that women value in men, meaning, wealth, maturity, experience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, these things will increase while her beauty, fertility, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, will decrease. Now, this assures that 20 years from now, when they're both 40, and he's probably, or he almost definitely is going to be a lot more established in the world, and she's going to be a lot less younger, hotter, blah, 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 blah in the world, that the overall relationship would have balanced out by that time. That's the thinking. However, society seems to be developing a different view, and that is telling men that average is exceptional, that average is okay, that average in some cases is better than beautiful. And on that, I want to say I respectfully disagree. I think that this teaching is, or excuse me, that this belief is a product of teaching that has been going on for quite some time now. Men, have you ever wondered why in the movies exceptional men are almost always paired with very unexceptional women? I'll give you an example. Superman. Superman is the very definition of exceptional. I mean, he is Superman. However, he finds himself enthralled with Lois Lane, who is written to be, and every actress who has portrayed her, average at best. This is saying to the, and also she rejects a man who is, his physical equivalent, Clark Kent, because she considers him average. Now, if they wanted to drive home or motivate men to become more like Superman, then they would pair him with an extraordinarily and unquestionably attractive woman at the time. But you never see that. You never see the Jessica Alba type in her youth and heyday, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You never see her paired with Superman. I always found that to be interesting and spectacular, to be quite frank. Same thing can be said for Iron Man, Spider Man. Mary Jane, in fact, is someone that Spider Man, in almost every instance of the multiverse, denies an exceptional woman in order to be with Spider Man. Hit the like button, people. Or excuse me, in order to be with Mary Jane. A woman who also seems to be more interested in Spider Man than Peter Parker. So, this push towards the middle for men who are exceptional is nothing new. Society has been pushing us in this direction for a long time. Now, there is a reason why in the comic book world they did this, and quite simply put, it's so that average women, which there are a lot more of, can watch Superman, to be quite frank. They want to be a part of the fantasy too. They fantasize about Superman. We fantasize about having his power, not his women. At least as children, we did. So there you go. That's the reason that a lot of movies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, at least in the past, made this dynamic. The same can be true for a number of things. The Sarah Connor was not, by any definition, an exceptional beauty. This is just something that has been going on and on and on and on for quite some time. Exceptional man, even Superman, with unremarkable women. Hit the like button. Which brings the question, where do attractive women go? To be honest, society hasn't answered that question for them either. Well, they did in a certain extent. The attractive woman is to wait until she becomes unattractive before she starts to look for Superman. But we'll get into that deeper. Before that, I'm going to give y'all an opportunity to hit that like button and pay attention to the attractive woman on the screen and see what she has to say.
Secret. You may not realize this, but you have more power than you know. So I want you to be more choosy. This aspect right here. Let's get into it. Remember, y'all, women love to be desired. They love attention. Attention is their currency. Attention is the drug. And a lot of y'all giving everybody attention, giving it out for free. No, be choosy about it, sir. It's your currency. Remember, our time is a limited resource. We don't know how much time we have, so don't give it away. If you give an attention, make sure it's worth it. Make sure it's to someone who actually values you, a woman that you actually want to be with long term, a woman that actually meets the standard. Don't just be giving that thing away for free. Women love attention. There's a lot of men giving it to them and therefore reinforcing things that men say they don't want. So I urge you, man, be intentional about who and what you are giving your attention to. Men, let me let you in on a little secret. You may not realize this, but you have more power than you know. So I want you to be more choosy.
This attractive woman is saying, I want you to be more choosy. Now, why do y'all think she's saying this? Why do you think she's saying, I want you to be more choosy? Well, quite simply put, oh, and by the way, everything she said about attention is right. Attention is currency. Attention is to women what SEXXX is to men. I'm going to repeat that. Attention is to women what SEXXX is to men. Now, how do I know this? Well, it has very similar properties. For one, just like with SEXXX, the more you get, the more you want. And when you don't have it, you feel empty. You feel failed as a man, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing as women in attention. So what she's saying is definitely true. Now, why would she, as an attractive woman, and no one's going to question that. I used to have people here who say, she ain't all that and blah, 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 when somebody is definitely overtly and unquestionably attractive. Fortunately, those people are gone, and what's left is people who understand the basic and obvious definition of attractive. So thank you for my refined audience. Nevertheless, why would she as an attractive woman tell us this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Why is she bringing this up? Why is she making this video? Because trust me, she gets clicks and likes for a number of reasons, I'm sure. Why did she say this? Because attention is a relative thing. Flattery, adoration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, is a relative thing. If a woman has, I don't know, a lot of guys, let's just say that there's 50 guys at an event and 20 guys are interested in her because she's attractive. And some guys are, married, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then a less attractive woman also gets 20 guys. She has nothing at that point to feel exceptional. She has nothing to feel that she is set above the lesser attractive woman. She has been placed in a category of a being who simply has a vagina. Hit the like button. But she is above those women just based on physical appearance. She is above those women and she wants to feel that way. So she's telling you men only give your attention to attractive women. Reduce the number of women that you give your attention to because they do not deserve it as much as her. Now, is physical attraction the only reason that a woman deserves a man's attention? Absolutely not. However, however, it's all you know about a woman prior to giving your attention to her. I'm going to repeat this. It's all you know about a woman prior to giving your attention to her. Now, if you were to meet women on unrandom circumstances, then you might say to yourself, you know something? I really like this girl. She helped me with my calculus, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I really like this girl. And that's another thing. She is worthy of your attention for that reason. But that's not what she's talking about, and that's not commonplace. Average women should not be getting the same amount of attention as exceptional women. This causes catastrophic problems in society that we're definitely going to discuss in great detail in this episode of Game Changer 00100. Hit that like button. Now, before we get into the great details, I'm going to say what's up. Say what's up to the people who got here early and hit that like button equally early. H&M, he has a show right now. Those of you, check out his channel. He has some interesting stuff there. Destro, greatly appreciate you, even though I don't think that you'll ever be Cobra Commander. About Business, salute to you, brother. Jabbar in New York, salute. JB Design, peace, peace. Dolomite, one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but if you're a boomer, you love it for some strange reasons. UCBX, peace, peace. And what's that? Saint Knee 69, salute to you. All right, let's see what you're talking about in that room. All right, it says, if the world wants you to get with a woman with her stomach spilling over her yoga pants. I think that there's a push towards the average, not the exceptionally grotesque. However, modern society and understand that the morbidly grotesque is becoming the new average. And then you have industries like the snack food industries. They don't want women to feel self-conscious about their weight. Women who are counting their calories go to McDonald's less. They go to Burger King less. So they want the grotesque to feel beautiful, so they can feel comfortable memorizing the menu of the Jack in the Box drive-thru. They want that feeling. So yes, it is unfortunate, but society has moved in that direction. Actually, it's the other way around. The title is on the show. Let's see. Why does the world encourage men to get with less pretty than they are handsome? Give example. Give example. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Different perspectives. The world wants you to get with a woman with her. Oh, I already read that one. Okay, let's see. What's sad is this pushes your more attractive women out of Hollywood and into obscurity because Hollywood wants to push average chicks. Well, they want to push average relationships. Slight difference. There's always room for attractive women, but they seem to get different roles. For example, you know what I'm going to do? Let's just go to a woman who, I and anybody, any non-blonde, blind, straight man would agree is attractive, and that is Megan Good. All right. Let's see. Let's just see her IMDb. And let's see the last time they showed her in a role, or how often they show her in roles where, she is the object of attraction. She's in a movie called Forever. I don't know what that's about, so I can't really speak on it. Oh, okay. They like to show attractive women divorcing guys. In the movie Divorce in Black, let's see. Buying Back My Daughter. I have to check some of these movies out. Shazam, Harlem, which is really she plays a beautiful woman who goes around, on the CC in Harlem for whatever strange reason. Let's see. Shazam, that's really like a action kids movie, but they never she's not the object. She's not the person that Shazam winds up with. Day Shift, pretty much same thing. Yet they never really show these type of women just in relationships with attractive men. They have a place for them. It's not the place that I feel they're best suited for. All right. The feminist deep-seated manipulation on men to lower their standards. Yeah. Part of the feminist agenda is to get men to lower their standards, primarily to them, and not just them. Their least effort self. Hit the like button. What do I mean by a least effort self? A least effort self means no makeup. It means that they don't do their hair, the one on their head and the one under their arms, and in certain other crevices. They just don't do anything. And they still expect everything from men. Very true. And very poignant thing to say. Another poignant thing to say is what UCBS says, and that is hit that like button. Because that'll bring up her value. The supply and demand effect, if you cut the ugly / average chicks' attention off pretty chicks, will get them attention. True. But it's not them, or I should say, it's not just them who's pushing this agenda. In addition to pretty chicks, it's also mainstream media and entertainment by and large. In a crazy way, she's actually correct. Yes, she's attractive. Her words mean more because she's a better human being than an average woman. Just like a genius is better than me. I'm an intelligent person, however, I'm not a genius. So, in that regard, they are. All right. And let's see. Yes, if you are really nice, it can give them maybe 1 point. Yes, absolutely. And 1 point above average is greater than average. So there you go. Yeah. Plainer women can compensate for their looks by offering value to a man. True. However, that value can be overwritten if an exceptional woman, if a non-plain woman also offers value to a man. That's something to consider. It means that the only advantage that an average woman has is if attractive women choose not to be valuable to men. That's what they're hoping for. B girl. I love the thumbnail, by the way. If you haven't already, hopefully you talk about Whoopi and Ted Danson's bizarre relationship with one another. I remember being in shock once I found out they dated. Yeah, I actually didn't know because they did a movie in the town that I lived in, my hometown. Shout out to Oakland, California. Called Will Smith was in it too. I forget what it was called, but it was Will Smith, Nia Long, Ted Danson, and Whoopi Goldberg. And Nia Long was the product of artificial insemination. And she went to look up her genetic father and come to find out that it was Ted Danson. Now, the mother, Whoopi Goldberg, was upset because she wanted black sperm and, you know, and blah, blah, blah. So, of course, Nia Long was much younger when this was going on. So, that's how the movie began. And, they, of course, by the end of the movie got together and, happy family and blah, 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 blah. Will Smith played the simp in that movie. So, how prophetic. But he was simping for Nia Long. It was Made in America. Made in America was the name of that movie. And I seen the movie and didn't think anything of it. Oh, it was just a movie. And then somebody told me that they were together. I was like, nah, that doesn't make sense. Because, and I don't know if this ever been true about his personal life, but Ted Danson, he played a role on Cheers. He played a role. He played the role of a bartender on a TV show called Cheers. He was a starring role there, and his character was that of a ladies' man, and it seemed pretty believable. So, I don't know if he was like that in real life or anything, but I'm like, why would anybody who is at least handsome enough to pretend to be a ladies' man wind up with Whoopi Goldberg? This is not, those of you who are younger, not only is she not an attractive woman now, and it may appear that she's unattractive, grotesquely unattractive because she's old, but really she has never been attractive at any point in her entire existence. She was born ugly. Hit the like button. And she knows this. She was able to monetize this. So, yeah, that was a weird relationship. I don't know if it's worthy of a show or if I could talk much about that. Sometimes stuff like that happens. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you, Naga. I appreciate the okay, so next time I get a Cash App from you, I know I can say your last name because well, I can't say your last name because I don't know how to pronounce it, but nevertheless, good morning to you, brother. Appreciate it. Sisterhood wants the least attractive snatched up. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And we're going to get into that. Absolutely. What's happened to the overinflated average female doing the most with the delusional? I'm so cute that I can get away with chit. Sugar honey iced tea. Bring the value down of the pretty ones. Yes. And I think that this is the reason that pretty women are on that particular bandwagon is because they feel that they have enough to spare. They're being generous with the attention. Like, I get so much attention, I could pass it to the homie. Now you hit it. Like, I think it's more like that. Like, you got that friend. Like, if you just so happens to be a part of, I don't know, somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio's entourage, you're gonna get some residuals. He's gonna pass you some residuals. That's just how it works. And I think that that's what they're doing, but they have done it to a degree that's causing them harm now. Because once the concept of all gas is created equal, let's just use petroleum, for example. Once the concept of all gas is created equal, then nobody will ever buy premium. They won't. And the only way premium will be sold is if they sell it for the same price as regular, which means that premium made the mistake of not acknowledging that they are the higher octane. All right. I understand the motivation a man gets when he has a wife/girlfriend that is more pretty than he is handsome. What is a lady's motivation in the opposite scenario is she's going to get a better job, etc. Do you mean a man with a better job? Well, I mean, it benefits a woman if she is in a relationship for a long term. Men who are with women who are prettier than they are handsome are more likely to bend the knee. You are more likely to bend the knee. Let's just take the TV series Saved by the Bell. Now, outside scandals aside, Screech, if Lisa Turtle were to give him the time of day, Screech is going to be far more likely to bend the knee to Lisa Turtle, played by the then beautiful Lark Voorhees, he is more likely to bend that knee to her than, Zack Slayer, with Kelly Kapowski, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's far more likely to do that. And that's for obvious reasons. Now, in the TV series, he played a nerd, however, one who is scholastically inclined, high IQ, and he's a pretty smart dude, which has his potential later in life. The fact that he was a skinny, a skinny kid with a Jufro, that's not going to really matter much, depending on the type of man that he matures into. However, her looks would fade, as all women's looks do. And then at that point, the relationship becomes valuable in her favor. And by that time, he has already been committed. So he has been committed to her. I respect your ambition, but you must have vision. You're talking about me? Or are you talking about a younger version of myself? Let me know. And many attractive women these days don't offer value besides looks. Do average women offer value outside of their average looks? I guess is my response to that. See, there's this understanding that average women have better character, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I haven't really seen a correlation in that regard. Yeah, it was called Made in America. I had to think about it, but it was, yeah. And in the end, Ted Danson never wifed up Whoopi, but married a white actress afterwards. Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe he did it to break into the movie industry. It is people do a lot to move. Even if you're very successful in TV, you still want to get into movies. People do a lot. Will Smith had his difficulties transitioning from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a TV star, or from the Fresh Prince, who's a TV star and a rap star, to a movie star. He changed his name. Like, no, I want to be known as Will Smith. That's why they rebrand themselves once they go to the movies. Like, you don't just call The Rock anymore. Once he transitioned into movies, it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So yeah, it could be that. And I don't really see him in many movies, especially in a starring position. So yeah, maybe it was strategic. Who knows? Or maybe she did have a quality that he likes. Now, from my understanding, she is not an appealing person both inside and out. But who knows? The heart wants what it wants. Men in general have a range of women whom he sees may qualify, whereas women have a type, and she won't deviate from her type. Yeah, well, I mean, women having more options than men, at least for short term mating, have more sophisticated standards than men. That's a benefit of a prosperous society. There was a big stink about him wearing blackface at a party or roast that they went to. Huh. That doesn't seem like that's part of Ted Danson's personality. And she was in on the gag and laughing with everybody. That doesn't seem like his personality, but he probably had reason. Who knows? Whoopi also dated Frank Lagula, her co-star in the movie Eddie. I don't remember that movie. I guess is a great analogy. Thanks. BGS uses that analogy from time to time in a different way too. No, it's a Dolomite joke. Oh, okay. I'm telling you, that is a terrible movie. That is a terrible movie. I watched it when I did not understand why my father and my uncles liked it so much. It was stupid then. It's stupid now. I don't. And then when I seen, because Eddie Murphy did like a spoof of the movie, not really a spoof, but like he did a movie about the making of Dolomite and the conditions under the story behind how it was made, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And to be perfectly frank, I think that black people at the time just wanted to confuse white people and show that they're different. So yeah, I think that that's what that movie was all about, which is a very sad reason to make a movie like that. Okay, because they don't think they have to. I remember that. Let's see. Ted Danson did straighten up and Ted Danson did straighten up in black. Oh, okay. I don't know why he's in blackface, but I doubt it was for the reason that blackface was initially created. So we're going to move on to the next part of the show, and we are going to move. Let's see. Should I do China first, or should I just do like contemporary? I'm going to do China first. I'm going to do China first. And that way, so I'm not ending on the note, because some of it they actually speak Chinese. Yeah, I know I don't like that accent. It's almost as bad as Cynthia G's actual voice, but um, they don't say words that are pleasing to my ears ever. All right, let's see. All right, hit that like button. Okay, we're going to talk about this for a second before I get into this. Um, the value of your attention is only as valuable as the quality of the person that you give it to. Absolutely. Absolutely. You see, there's a reason why they don't just let anybody into the Ivy League. And that's because the value of the university is only as valuable as the students that you allow in it. It's called exclusivity. See, this is the reason why so many nightclubs fail and die. And these are the ones that don't have any exclusivity. Your nightclub is only as good as the people, as the quality of people that you allow in it. So if you allow a bunch of, grotesquely overweight women, then you're just going to get the men that chase grotesquely overweight women, who don't have money for drinks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then your club declines and dies. But if you have a club full of beautiful women, then your club will thrive, and you'll have one of those guys with the tuxedo on and outside the gate in the velvet rope saying only the hot women can come in and filtering out the undesirables. That is the goal. Clubs want to get to that part in life. That's how you know you made it. So yes, exclusivity is important. And I agree in filtering out who you give your attention to and who you give your validation to. All right. Look at his teeth. All right. Let's start from beginning and let's have a listen.
有实力，真的不要去追漂亮女孩。男生没钱，长得不够帅，你守不住。
Brothers, if your own conditions are average, don't casually pursue girls with outstanding appearances. The reason is simple. Beauty is not just a small advantage.
It is not
The
just a small
allure it
advantage.
brings is long-term and powerful. And this kind of temptation and value conflict can last for years, even decades. A man who is neither rich nor handsome will find it difficult to keep a beautiful partner for the long haul. I remember one time, my childhood friend saw a
Okay. He's speaking in a present sense, in a very, if your conditions are not. I would give a counter argument if your conditions will never be greater than average. If your conditions will never be greater than average, then perhaps you should go with what he's saying. But no, not if your conditions are average. That's ridiculous, because You're selling her a future while she's selling you a present. I repeat, you're offering a future while she's giving you a present. I'm going to say that one more time. You're offering her a future while she's giving you a present. Now, if a woman has no vision for the future, then and she only thinks in the present, this is how we get the Vivica Foxes of the world. And they're doomed no matter what. But we all know she was hot when she was hot. Emphasis on the word was.
Beautiful girl online and really liked her. Eventually, he managed to get her contact information. My childhood friend is a businessman, the kind of man who is quite wealthy. When they met for the first time, my friend gave her an iPhone 14 as a gift and even transferred 9,999 yuan to her generously. However, just a few days later, she returned all the money in gifts and told my friend that she already had a boyfriend. She explained that she added people on WeChat out of curiosity, just to see what kind of person would be so generous. But that wasn't the end of the story. Later, my friend and this girl became even closer. Although the girl insisted that she would never betray her boyfriend, her chats revealed a lot, like complaints about her boyfriend, that he doesn't make money, has bad habits, or doesn't pay attention to hygiene. Think about it carefully. Whether or not she accepts the gifts or money, the moment a gift is offered, the girl's feelings inevitably
Okay. So you see how this guy's logic, I'm going to be honest. And I think I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. And this comes from a childhood spent competing with these guys in various mathematical and scientific competition. People believe that Orientals are smarter than they are. And don't get me wrong, they're smarter than most. But still, people put a premium on their intelligence, logic, and reasons that they overshoot it. They overshoot it a bit. Because he, in this particular instance, he failed to see that he's saying that average man shouldn't get with or go after exceptional women because of what happened to his friend when he gave 9,000 won to a woman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, though his approach is off, this woman is with the average guy that hasn't even mastered hygiene. Okay, let's be clear. This exceptional woman that he's talking about is with a smelly, average looking guy. Or he didn't say he was average looking, but I mean, how good can you look when you smell like crap? So, she's with a very, very, so it's like, wait a minute, you're telling two stories here. That average woman is with a below average man, provided that the average man in China don't have hygiene issues. And I don't know if they do or don't. So, yeah, you don't see that.
experience a subtle imbalance. What truly makes her anxious isn't the material things themselves, but the uncertainty about her future. On the internet, you'll often see posts about friend A traveling abroad, friend B receiving luxury handbags, or friend C showing off luxury cars, mansions, or extravagant weddings. This kind of comparison puts tremendous psychological pressure on girls. Remember, girls also compare in life. However, they compare their boyfriends, marriages, or living conditions. Now let me tell you another story about my friend and another girl. This girl was way above average in terms of education, appearance, and capability. But her boyfriend could only earn a few thousand yuan a month and would collapse in bed from exhaustion after work in their rented apartment. Do you know what happened to them? At the time, she and her boyfriend were planning to buy a home for marriage, requiring a 400,000 yuan down payment. The boyfriend suggested that she contribute half, or 200,000 yuan, to have her name included on the property ownership certificate. However, she didn't have that much money, so she approached my friend for advice. The two agreed that my friend would give her 50,000 yuan every
Ah!
month. What did this girl provide in return? I'd rather not elaborate. Very quickly, my friend transferred 200,000 yuan to her, and even comforted her, saying, Don't feel pressured.
Okay, I got this calculator here. So let me see. 200,000 won is $27,000. Now, I don't recommend that any guy pays for nothing. This guy would have been happier and wiser to purchase a, let's just call them destitute, to purchase the services of a destitute for far less than $27,000 than to pay for the possibility of long-term relationships with this woman here. The examples that he's giving is of one foolish man that should not be doing this for any woman, attractive or otherwise, that he is not getting fair exchange for. That doesn't mean that you should avoid attractive women. That means that you should avoid doing this with women. And that is arbitrarily giving them money with hopes for, that your investment will be respected, that you will get return on this investment. You won't.
Just treat it as borrowing my money. However, the next day, the girl returned all the money. She told my friend that she had spent a sleepless night thinking it through. She ultimately decided that even if her name wouldn't be on the property ownership certificate, she wouldn't betray her relationship because of money. She also admitted that even if it was a loan, she
Oh,
couldn't repay it. After returning the money, she blocked all of my friend's contact information. It's hard to imagine how much temptation those beautiful girls from less privileged families face in life.
now I want to remind you that she is splitting the bill with somebody else. So the person that she's with is not rich and exceptional in that regard. Hit the like button. Um, Apparently, China women are significantly better, morally at least, than American women because she returned the money. Is there a Black American woman that would have returned $27,000 for her moral position? Or she would have just kept it, called him a trick, and then, and then got with the next dude, and then a year later accused him of SA to a 4-year-old. Like, that's what they would have done.
Especially when they possess good looks and dress up a little, they attract even more attention. My friend himself isn't bad either. He's the owner of a small internet company, 1.8 meters tall, and quite good looking. It's rare for a girl to resist his allure. In this
Chinamen are little. Chinamen are little is the only way I could say that. Here, I'm gonna translate that because I think that's under 6 feet. Like just under 6 feet. Hold on. Yeah. So that's like I described. That's under 6 feet. That's like 5'10", 5'11". But he's just touting it up. I mean, like there's this controversy over Cooley, who's 6'4", but they're like, hey, this guy is 5'11", and he's touting it up. That's because China people are little.
age of rampant comparisons, this girl's ability to stick to her principles might be attributed to her good education.
US average height is like 5'10". So, this guy who's 1.8 meters, is really just like a regular. That's not average in US. US is like 5'10", 5'9" maybe. Like I've seen both. Yes, it is. Hold on, I'm getting on my nerves. The average height of a man in the US. Yeah, 5'9". I told you. And that's with all the China people here. In fact, it probably went down because of the China people that came over. But yeah, that's the average height here.
She has strong values and has been surrounded by positive influences, which have helped her maintain her principles in a complex environment. So, I sincerely advise everyone, if your own conditions aren't particularly good, don't casually pursue girls who are too beautiful. Even if you do get married, keeping her heart will still be a challenge. Finally, I'd like to remind all the girls, no matter the situation, always stick to your principles.
All right, y'all want to be difficult. Y'all want to be difficult. Was never 5'10". Listen, it's not a matter of that. It's really not. Now y'all crazy talking. Listen, if I see something, because typically it's never going to be 5'9" 9.0. So when it's 5'9", it's 5'9" point something. And that's something I have the discretion to round up if I so choose. And I do. So yeah, it's 5'. It doesn't matter. I'm taller than average. And his friend, who's 1.8 meters, is barely he's barely above average American.
Don't lose your dignity and values because of a moment of temptation, especially when faced with a 200,000 yuan kind of cost. Think carefully about what it might truly entail.
为什么不要找太漂亮的女人呢？因为生肉不担彩。
Why do many people advise men not to pursue overly beautiful women lightly? The reason is actually very simple. Ultimately, if a man lacks sufficient financial strength, having a beautiful woman in his life can create significant pressure. This is not about demeaning women but rather discussing from a realistic perspective the challenges that may come with being with a beautiful woman.
Holy crap.
First of all, being with a beautiful woman comes with high costs. Beauty is not just an external attribute but also involves expensive maintenance, such as clothes, handbags, cosmetics, and various lifestyle demands.
Well, that's when beautiful women requires that of a mate. A beautiful woman, like if a beautiful woman with an ugly purse is a beautiful woman. Okay, now there are certain things like perhaps hair, which really don't have to apply to China woman because they just wash it and go, wash it and go, wash it and go. That's all you need to know is wash it and go. Black women comes with all kind of expensive crap, all kind of glue and Velcro and all kind of crap just to maintain a decent hairdo. You know, all kind of like chemicals and hot stoves and hot combs and curling press and stuff like that and visits to the salon with a bunch of fat obnoxious chicks. Like that's what it requires for a black woman. Their hair don't have any maintenance. Appreciate the super sticker, True Prodigy.
All of which require money. I know a high school classmate whose monthly income was around 8,000 yuan. His girlfriend was a stunningly beautiful woman, and he spent nearly 6,000 yuan on her each month. However, due to unforeseen circumstances,
Hold on, I'm gonna see what that is. Because he spent 6,000 yuan on her a month. Let me see what 6,000 yuan is. It's pronounced Juan. $828. Yeah, that's a bit high, even by American standards. But for a beautiful woman, for an exceptional woman,
lost his job and his income plummeted. His girlfriend quickly broke up with him. In the end,
why is he acting like an average woman wouldn't do that crap? Average women do the same thing attractive women do because it makes them feel attractive to do it.
Lost his relationship, but also a significant amount of money. Truly a case of losing both love and wealth. So, a man must ask himself one crucial question. Do you have sufficient financial strength and the ability to earn consistently? After all, very few women are...
Again, the question he should ask himself is, will he ever have that? I think that's the question he should be asking.
Therefore, rather than chasing a wife who only possesses external beauty, it's wiser to choose a virtuous partner who can weather life's ups and downs with you.
杨老，你们一个个跟我说找媳妇儿要找乖的，要找漂亮的，要找身材好看的。
Stop
You men
talking.
always say you want a wife who
Y'all see, you see what I'm talking about? I don't like your words.
is obedient, gentle, pretty, and has a good figure. But in my
Yes.
opinion, if your wife is too beautiful, it can easily attract unwanted attention. You must understand,
care
a
about
beauty is not necessarily a good wife, and a
Yes.
good wife doesn't
No.
have to be a beauty. When it comes
You
to
see-
choosing a wife, I think as long as
You see, here's the thing that this China woman don't want you to know, and that is that people hide behind terms like and phrases like all that glitters ain't gold. And though that statement is true, I could tell you one thing: all that doesn't glitter isn't gold. It never will be. You got to glitter to be gold. Just because all that glitter isn't gold, all that doesn't glitter isn't gold. Beautiful women glitter. There's a possibility that she could be gold, but the truth of the matter is that a regular looking woman, no matter how submissive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, she will never have the value of a woman who is both beautiful and possess those qualities. What are you talking about? Okay.
she looks
Foolishness.
decent and is willing to live a steady life, that's already very good. It's perfectly fine if you want to find a very beautiful woman, but you must be clear about
good.
this. If she's too obedient and beautiful, but her values are off, then you'd better be prepared for the day when she betrays you emotionally. So, let me say this.
I prepare for that day each and every single chick. I mean, that's what you're supposed to be unprepared if the woman is average. You are foolish if you are like, oh, this average chick will never leave me because she's average. No.
Men without money should never dream of marrying extremely beautiful women. This is not a joke.
Okay, Ronald Calhoun has something to say. I'm going to respond. It says, if you get her and she is solid, she may have more value. Agreed. Looks are just looks. No, looks are extraordinarily important. Looks assures genetic prosperity for generations to come. That's what it assures. Do you want to take your daughter to the prom? Press 1 in the chat if you ever want to deal with the awkwardness of having your daughter come to you and say, none of the boys want to take me to prom, Daddy. Will you do it? Press 1 in the chat room if you ever look forward to some crap like that. No one.
If you don't believe me, just look at the scandals involving many celebrities or the numerous cases of beautiful women betraying their husbands in real life. There are simply too many examples like this.
And I've seen ugly people with uglier kids. Yes, there's genetic anomalies, but you don't get with a midget saying, I've seen some midgets have 7-foot kids. You don't do that. I'm saying prettier than you are handsome. I don't know how handsome you are. I'm saying prettier than you are handsome. To up my genetics. Good genetics is a currency. Okay, so he says, attractive enough is the key. Listen, in high school, I met Laura Govan. I didn't meet Gloria Govan. I met Laura Govan. And she was extraordinarily attractive. I mean, ridiculously attractive. Um, Later to find out she married into the NBA, and so did her sister. Now, I also know their father. And I can tell you that he wasn't a wealthy man or anything like that. He had beautiful daughters, two of them. And that's what he did. Genetic currency.
Beautiful women aren't inherently bad people, but the problem is that they're particularly prone to attracting attention. Think about it. If you marry a wife who loves beauty and is obsessed with dressing up, she might have one issue, and that is her high.
All right. Sounds like everyone here has a dime piece. Ella, listen. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that everybody wants one, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting a dime, like Scrooge McDuck, a number one dime. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. And there is nothing wrong with understanding that a dime is worth more than a nickel, because nickels are fat by comparison to a dime. There's nothing wrong with understanding that a dime is worth more than a nickel. Nothing at all. Nothing. And people like, oh yeah, well, a nickel, you can have more of them, or no, dimes are better. Dimes are better in every way you measure coins. Dimes, you deserve more of you than a nickel. Have I had nickels before? Absolutely. And I only put my penis halfway in just because, okay? Of course you would, because you're a rich man that's not blind. Man, have like a Chloe Bailey looking kid that can sing. And I think she could do ninja flips too. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Maintenance could cost you a lot more money and energy. It's just like buying a car. Those with stable handling, strong power, quick acceleration, and large space often share a common flaw: high fuel consumption. That's why I think when you men choose a wife, you don't need to insist on those who are extraordinarily beautiful, tall, and strikingly gorgeous. Instead, find someone with a higher IQ.
No. Why not? Why not look for both? Why is there an assumption that homely broads have high IQs? Why is there an assumption? Listen, barring poor choosing signals, if I see a woman who's exceptionally beautiful, sitting with a woman who is average, once again, choosing signals equal, then I'm going to go with the more attractive vessel. Because I'm not IQ testing these broads. What are you talking about? How dare this woman speak? How dare you? Telling men what they should want. I want what I want. You give me it. You give me as much as of what I want as you can give me. That's your duty. Want what I want, damn it. Ever go to a restaurant and they say something like, oh, you should want this. Order a steak and they give you a salad. You got to get your fiber up. Like, no, I want what I want. Of course, prettier women aren't dumber. And that's because their mama was pretty and their daddy was smart. That's how you up the genetics. They come from women who had free range to get with the smartest man she could.
Better physical endurance, and reliable character, this is the right way to go. Women who appear too obedient, beautiful, and tall might make you feel satisfied on the surface, but behind the scenes? If her beauty seems unnaturally perfect, that could lead to problems.
But behind the scenes, what? What goes on behind the scenes of beautiful women? What goes on behind the scenes? Does she bite? Does she bite? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that they bite it off? Like, what is so terrible? What is so terrible about that beautiful women do behind the scenes? I'm curious. This is just an empty caution. Like, oh yes, but behind the scenes, what? Do they have like a STD that solely affects beautiful women? What is it that you are trying to caution men about? Y'all see this crap? Y'all see this crap? And y'all be thinking like, ooh, they so smart. They so smart. Look at them. They know stuff. They know calculus. They know everything but how to drive. They just so smart. Y'all be thinking that, but really, it's behind the scenes. It's a bunch of foolishness like this, and they fall for it. Well, she probably is. We don't know. Like, I mean, this is a different country. She probably is locally ugly or average. They have much higher standards than we do. But no, she wouldn't be saying that if she went to a place like here, like Anytown, USA. Yeah, if she lived in Mississippi, she wouldn't be telling guys to go for the average. Mississippi.
So, instead of agonizing at home, why not find someone who lets you focus on your career with peace of mind? That's the wisest choice, don't you agree?
I want to say something to all the brothers out there. When looking for a wife, never choose a big beauty. I understand that many people are drawn to beauty.
Holy crap. All right. It says, how iconic was the Scrooge McDuck character? Number one dime. Everybody loves Scrooge McDuck. I like that he was cheap. I'll never forget. Because he had 3 adopted sons or nephews named Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They were triplets. And one day they came to him and asked, "Can I have a quarter for some soda?" And then he said, "Yeah, sure." And then he gave him a quarter. And they said, "One soda to split 3 ways?" He said, "No, 4. I'm a little thirsty myself." I was dying. That he's rich and so cheap. And I always dreamed of one day swimming in money until I realized that physics don't work that way.
But I must remind everyone that choosing a beautiful woman can come with significant risks. Why do I say this? Because I myself have once been infatuated with beautiful women, but I've realized that they are not the kind of girls who can easily walk into your life. Over the years, I've gradually come to understand this truth. If I were to find a girlfriend, I would definitely...
So you should only desire what's easy?
choose a woman with average looks. Girls who are exceptionally beautiful often have many issues. These girls have been accustomed to being praised for their appearance from a young age, and as they grow older, they find it hard to understand why others might have a less than perfect mood. They believe their lives have been smooth, which makes it difficult for them to empathize with others. You see, these girls have received special treatment from both their families and society. Their parents constantly praise their looks.
They are. If he's saying that beautiful women are conceited, yeah, many of them are. It's part of being beautiful. And See, it doesn't matter how much a woman values herself as long as she values you enough to be with her. If she values you enough to be with her and you choose average over that, then why? I don't understand.
And charm, and they are often the center of attention in any crowd. They've never lacked admirers, and the love letters they receive could fill a whole bookshelf. Such girls tend to look down on men. They may even develop a certain aversion to men, thinking that men constantly disrupt their lives.
And see, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the myth of Asian or China's wisdom, ancient Chinese secret. That's a myth. Look, okay, sir, if people were to accept your course of action, then guess what? Average women will have letters filled up, have enough love letters to fill up a bookshelf. Average women will have that. Average women will become narcissists. Average women will display the character traits that you so detest. And that's what we have now in the Black community. A bunch of conceited average women. If you're going to make somebody conceited, at least make her genetically deserve it. Like, yeah, well, because so many men choose beautiful women have become conceited. So let's all choose average women. Average women will become conceited, sir. You're stupid.
Even in the workplace, they might feel that male colleagues and bosses pay too much attention to them. In relationships, these girls are more likely to take control. They believe men should serve them, like asking men to help with things or run errands. In their minds, men are supposed to help them, and if a man doesn't, then there's something wrong with him. As a result, these beautiful women often don't realize their own flaws. To be honest, I understand this mentality.
Damn it.
It's human nature.
Calhoun,
If you were a beautiful...
Listen at this. They aren't special, just attractive. That's what special means. You are special if you are exceptional in any way, shape, and form. If you have a rare attribute, then you are special. That's what special means. If you're double jointed, you're special. Yes, it does. Special means unique. If in being beautiful means you're uniquely beautiful. Once you get past all of that, she's just another chick. I know. Which is why you shouldn't be intimidated by her. At least that's always been my experience, and I have had my share of them. Yeah, that's good. But I'm never going to ignore that they're better than less attractive women. I'm not. They just make you look good. Yes, they do. And they look good. Never forget that.
Woman, you'd probably like being pursued and enjoy having people give you gifts and praise you all the time. However, from a man's perspective, such a woman may seem very attractive. When dating
She
her,
is
you'd
very
enjoy
attractive.
looking at her beauty, but when it comes to marriage, you might face a lot of problems. Therefore, I sincerely suggest to all the brothers, when choosing a partner, while physical attractiveness is important, the most critical factors in long-term companionship are the person's character and values.
I'll take that too.
Many men have had this mindset. Pursuing beautiful women seems almost instinctive. However, when it comes
Titties that big are rare amongst China women. And I think that's why they used her for this particular reel. It's rare amongst China women, so I think that she's unquestionably, their standard of beauty.
comes to choosing a wife, many tend to forego such choices. Why is that? I believe there are three main reasons worth exploring for all men. First,
Yeah,
having
this
a
one too.
beautiful wife means more rivals in love. Beautiful women.
Were triggered by women.
Ah, crap.
Beauty itself.
Many men have had this mindset. Pursuing beautiful women seems almost instinctive. However, when it comes to choosing a wife,
It is
many
instinctive.
tend to
It is instinctive, and there's nothing wrong with having that instinct. They're better at being women.
forgo such choices. Why is that? I believe there are three main reasons worth exploring for all men. First, having a beautiful wife means more rivals in love. Beautiful women are often surrounded by outstanding men. Their charm frequently attracts those around them, which
Translation: I fear competition. I fear competition is a translation. And though it is true, men, everybody should be worried about competition. But that's why they call it a prize. That's why they're called trophy wives, because you've won. She can get it. So it seems like China people want the same thing that we want.
main reasons worth exploring for all men. First, having a beautiful wife means more rivals in love. Beautiful women are often surrounded by outstanding men. Their charm frequently attracts those around them, which means a husband would constantly need to stay vigilant and deal with competition from other men. This situation can put a lot of pressure on the husband. Day after day, handling the presence of potential rivals can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. Therefore, marrying a beautiful wife often comes with
She looks like a
greater
geisha doll.
emotional burdens. Second, beautiful wives tend to be more headstrong and dominant in character. From a young age, beautiful women often
See, now they're making like character assessments based on the person's looks. All of the negative qualities that a woman could possibly possess applies to beautiful women, and all the positive ones applies to average and below average women. Y'all see what's going on here? Hit the like button.
enjoy smoother lives and are showered with affection from those around them. This can lead to a more willful personality. In family life, such a disposition may create conflicts. They may have a stronger temper and get upset over minor matters. As a husband, you need to invest more patience and communication to resolve these issues. Building a harmonious relationship with a woman who has a strong personality often requires greater effort and understanding. Third, having a beautiful wife might affect a man's career ambition. There is an old saying, pleasures of the night make the morning short. From then on, the king neglects his court affairs.
Pleasure of the night makes the morning short. Then pleasure her in the morning too. Imbeciles.
This means that beautiful women can easily lead men into indulging in their company, losing focus on their ambitions. Even emperors might skip morning court sessions due to their attraction to beauty.
No, maintain your resolve, but do understand value.
Beautiful queens. For ordinary men, marrying an exceptionally beautiful wife might result in spending too much time and energy on her and the family, ultimately hindering career pursuits. While a beautiful wife may bring social prestige, it might also have the opposite effect, draining a man's motivation to succeed professionally.
So, beautiful women drains a man's motivation to succeed professionally. But didn't you say that a man who failed professionally lost his beautiful woman? Like, wouldn't that mean that if he's with a beautiful woman, he would work to maintain his professional status and improve upon it to secure the relationship? These dudes have boogeyman tales of beautiful women. You're garbage people. And this has happened in the black community first. This has happened in the black community first. That's why we have these, grotesquely unattractive women walking around like they nines. 49ers.
Professionally. For young, unmarried men who are still in the entrepreneurial stage, it's especially crucial to understand this. You don't have to limit your standards for choosing a wife to just looks.
Dang, she's skinny.
Physical attraction is undoubtedly important, but what matters more is whether your wife can grow with you in your career, understand and support you, and maintain good communication and mutual understanding. Therefore, when choosing a partner, don't make beauty the sole criterion. Do you agree with my views? Feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you
Okay, you shouldn't have any sole criterias, but just understanding the value of beauty is not making it your sole criteria. Come on now, let's not be obtuse. Yeah, it's going to crap. It's going to crap. Chinamen just, I don't know if they eating this garbage, but I do know that they making shows about it. Y'all tell me how that was. Was that choppy? I've been getting complaints that my that when I share screens it's choppy, so I decided to download them first as opposed to doing it on YouTube. So tell me, was that choppy when I was doing that? Why don't y'all tell me that? I'm gonna do this. Oh, nope, wrong one. Wait, what? Ah, that was weird. Okay, for whatever reason, when I loaded it, it only recorded. It only recorded the audio. So bear with me. Hit that like button. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this one on YouTube. Oh well. Just trying to avoid the commercials and stuff. Ah, perfect. Got the perfect scene here. So we'll do that. And here we go. Chaos, I don't know what those words mean when they're in that order. Look at this. Look at this. Shout out to Magneto. This is what they want for all of you. This is what they want for all of you. This is what they want for all of you. All right. Hit that like button and we'll get started. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. The reason why the internet was in an uproar is because a white man is doing it. That's a standard relationship in the black community. That's regular relationships. The reason why, wait, there's no sound. The reason why everybody was up in an uproar was because a white man was doing it. That's why it hit different. She can get it.
Tale as old as time. Handsome, rich, successful man marries down. She's ugly, they fume. How did she get him? He could do so much better. She must have trapped him. He must have mummy issues. In Australia, we even have a name for it. Punching. If you are told that you are punching above your weight, it basically means that you are in a relationship with someone who is much better looking than you. You are the ugly one. And your partner could and should do so much better than you. And it got me thinking.
I want to be the ugly one in a relationship. I don't care. I want people to look at me and say, "Hey, how did that ugly ass person get with her?" I am perfectly okay with that scenario.
Is there something to this whole punching thing? What does attract hot guys to unattractive women? Is it just other people who are jealous and trying to bring said woman down? Or is there actually some kind of secret formula that these ugly women use to ensnare attractive men? Of course, on the other hand, it's seen as normal when an attractive woman marries an unattractive
It is
man.
normal.
He's obviously rich or famous or has a big willy or he's in a position of power that could elevate the attractive woman's social standing. Nothing wrong with it, totally normal, totally fine, nobody bats an eyelid. But when an attractive or rich or famous man goes for a woman who we deem to be less attractive, less rich, or less famous, we are left confused. People are shocked. It's an injustice. Like in the instance of power star Omari Hardwick and his choice of wife in publicist Jennifer Fauch. Not only was Jennifer not rich,
He is significantly more handsome than she is pretty. However, she was. They got together when they were young. She invested early. At that time, before he discovered push-ups, perhaps she was the pretty one. Perhaps she was the pretty one, and that's why you do that, because his value appreciated and hers depreciated. So when they were young and they got together, ... Just, or maybe she just has like a personality that overrides that.
not famous, but she was also ugly as fuck, if you believe her detractors. Then you've got Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin, for example. The Justin Bieber fandom was horrified when he married Hailey. Here's Justin, a good-looking, rich, talented male. And Hailey, who
But not looks matched. He's significantly more handsome than she is pretty.
was somewhat less rich and less famous, but not by much, mind you. She's ugly, the internet fumed. He deserves better than her. He clearly only married her to get back at his ex Selena. He couldn't possibly be in love with her. Then the fact that Pierce Brosnan, aka James Bond, has dared to not divorce his wife of 22 years because she has put on weight, had 2 children, and has the nerve to look a little bit older now at the age of 60.
Okay, now let's examine this. Let's examine this relationship here. No, she don't look all that bad. I agree. I'm not saying that any of these women look bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that these are guys like Amari Hardwick who is paid for looking the way he does. And she's not paid for looking the way she does. So, I'm not saying that these women are ugly or anything like that. I'm saying that, relative to their mates. That's all I'm saying.
Brosnan, aka James Bond, has dared to not divorce his wife of 22 years because she has put on weight.
Now look at this. See, this is what I'm talking about. Getting with a woman who is prettier than you are handsome. Getting with a woman who's prettier than you are handsome. Why? Because in the future, when she deteriorates, then it balances out. See, long term, right here, prettier than than he is handsome. Here, things have flipped, and it's okay because she gave him the best of herself. She gave him the best of herself. See, he's not married to her now. He's honoring his agreement with her then. He's honoring the agreement that he made with her then. That's the reason. Women who have foresight understands this. Black women are largely stupid. Like the one that was here yesterday talking about, yeah, I'm slim and I'm in my 20s and blah, 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 blah. But I'm not looking for marriage now. I'm going to wait till I'm done getting free trips. You're stupid. You see, when she was that age, she actually got with him so she can be married when she looks like this. You are going to wait till you look like this before you start looking for a mate because you're stupid.
Had 2 children and has the nerve to look a little bit older now at the age of 60 than she did when she married him at the age of 37 has really upset the internet. One Twitter user went as far as to use Keely and Pierce as fodder for a meme, which stated that this was the reason that no one should get married. Has nobody noticed that Piers himself doesn't exactly look the same now as he did when he got married to Keely? As usual, we just seem to focus on the appearance of the female. She has to keep her looks, her body, stay looking youthful forever, which is bloody physically impossible. But of course, men can get dad bods. That's endearing and lovable, like a...
Dang it. Yeah, his bank account looks better. That's why I say in the way that women value men.
Squishy teddy bear that you just want to cuddle. Grey hair, silver fox, very attractive. Lines, wrinkles, they're distinguished. It's such a bloody double standard and it really pisses me off, despite the fact that people seem to think that...
See, take the woman who's it's such a bloody double standard. I like the way Aussie people talk. But take the woman who's doing this. She understands and fears her marketplace decline. She understands and fears her marketplace decline. That's why she's speaking the way she is, instead of for settling down with my penis right now.
Keely is not attractive enough to be married to James Bond. Strangely enough, he seems to be absolutely besotted by her. He certainly doesn't think she's ugly or unattractive. In fact, he seems to be more in love with her now than when they got married. He said himself that he loves her curves. He thinks she's beautiful. I found a great woman in Keely Shea. Not if I searched a million times.
No, that's because, listen, he don't see her. Okay. If they met today, he would sign an autograph and keep walking. That's it. But they didn't met today. And he don't see her. He see like the memories of hitting that sweet, sweet pussy when they were younger. That's what he sees. He sees all the children that she bore for him and all the, hours that she spent breastfeeding and stuff. That's what he sees. And he's not going to give that up because of how she looks now. They think men are stupid or dishonorable. We invented honor.
Over would I find one as good, is what he said. Then there's the Danish footballer Brian Laudrup, who dared marry Mette. People simply can't seem to understand how these two ended up together. They claim that Mette is ugly, yet clearly Brian doesn't think so, and he obviously likes her because they have been together for 36 years and have 2 daughters together. And then there's Cillian Murphy. I love Cillian Murphy. Irish guys. The furor surrounding Cillian Murphy's wife of 20 years, mind you, Yvonne McGuinness, was... She's ugly, the internet fumed. How dare Cillian find her attractive, let alone marry her? And I have to wonder, are we looking at the same woman? I know beauty is subjective and all, but I think she is so beautiful. Okay, so she's not Kim Kardashian or Megan Fox, but I see gorgeous cheekbones, soulful eyes.
It's whatever this is right here. She need to get rid of that. She need to get rid of that. It looks like she's growing a unicorn horn.
Beautiful smile. I mean, just look at this woman's bone structure. I, for one, can definitely see how Cillian is attracted to her. Not to mention, like Cillian, Yvonne is a fellow...
Dang, it's always there. That's not a pimple. That's a wart. You see, and the reason why this Aussie woman is talking like this is because she wants more time. She wants more time. She wants more time So when she looks like this, she could still date rich and famous as she does today. That's what she wants. And that's why she's manipulating society this way. But sweetie, once men start lowering their standards, they won't have the same appreciation for you. Hit the like button.
Creative. Yvonne is a classically trained visual artist who holds a master's degree from the Royal College of Art in London. Let's
the
not be so
Royal
quick to
College of
discount
Art
how
in London.
attractive,
I don't
intelligence,
give a
and creativity is.
Blah 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 blah. This is not her resume. I'm not looking at her resume.
Isn't a person. Then there's Aaron Taylor Johnson. This one is a doozy for a multitude of reasons. His wife, Sam Taylor Johnson, really gets the internet's knickers in a twist. Aaron's fans are furious that he chose her. They literally cannot understand why he would marry someone who they claim is not only older, I mean, she is, but that she is also ugly. Now, I am not going to get into the age gap here. Let's just say it's a big one. And there was definitely some kind of weird power dynamic at play when these two got together, but I digress. Calling Sam ugly is just plain incorrect. Physically,
She groomed him.
why is everyone?
Dang it.
She's got great hair, a strong body, lovely cheekbones,
She's
great
not an
teeth, and
attractive
sparkly
woman.
eyes.
See-
If you ignore our current
Why is she trying to get us to eat this trash? Why is she trying to get us to eat this garbage? Look at her bone structure. What the hell?
beauty standards for just one moment, you will see that actually she's very, very attractive. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like,
listen.
oh, look.
If you have to verbally explain why a person is attractive, then they're not attractive.
It's unimportant. Looks don't matter. Of course, looks matter. Being physically attracted to your partner is pretty important. And here's the real kicker. Some people don't determine what they find to be attractive in the opposite sex based on physical attributes at all. Some men really couldn't give a shit what color your hair is, or how big your nose is, or how flat your belly is, or how big your butt is. Believe it
But I do. So fuck them and fuck you too. Shout out to Eminem.
or not, some people are actually attracted to intelligence. Some might value humor or kindness, creativity, empathy. It's almost like there's more to women than what we look like.
I posted a simple transition video.
There's less. There is less, but there is like additional. Meaning that that's the most important thing, but other things are important.
Of me and my husband going from towels to dressed up together. This is not unlike what all kinds of different couples do on this app. My video went viral, and I know we all know why. It's because by beauty standards, we don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And since we don't add up, people try to add things to my side of the equation to make it make sense by saying things like, oh, she must not have been fat when they met, or oh, she's got to be rich. Or they try to decrease his side of the equation by saying things like he must be gay or he fetishes fat women. I get asked this question all the time. Do you get...
Well, all those things could be true, but it could also be equally true that they met under a fortuitous sequence of events. And it could be something as simple as that, which does happen. Listen, we're not talking about relationships as they exist. We're talking about relationships as a person seeks them. And men should be selective of who we give our attention to.
Jealous when people hit on your husband? And my answer is always no. That's because when people typically slide into his DMs, they're leading with their body first. And on the scale of what my husband values, how well my body fits into the beauty standards is not on the top of his list.
More fool him.
He values my humor and my commitment and my love and my caring heart. So when someone slides into his DMs leading with their body first, he's asking, but what else? Because he, like I, know that people's values don't lie in how well their bodies fit into society's trash beauty standards.
And if you
then why do he have to work out? Why is he working out? If body and beauty standards isn't important, then how come you're not with a fat ass? Yeah, and she's not really funny. Like that whole.
you guys need proof that looks aren't all that when it comes to a relationship, how many times have we seen women in the public eye who, by all intents and purposes, look about as perfect as a woman can look, who ends up with a partner who disrespects her, cheats on her, or leaves her? Sure, she was beautiful, but ultimately, looks alone cannot carry a relationship. Look at Emily Ratajkowski, for example. Absolute stunner. Practically perfect in every physical way possible. Husband cheated. Angelina Jolie, one of the world's most beautiful women, cheated on. Victoria Beckham, cheated on. Kylie Jenner.
Why are they acting like these beautiful women are with Ronald Calhoun? Why are they acting like, like they're not with equally appealing men? Why are they acting like that? That's weird. Angelina Jolie cheated on. Well, by Brad Pitt. By Brad Pitt. By Brad motherfucking Pitt. What the fuck? If she married Lion 917, like, how often is he gonna cheat? Is he gonna cheat up? What the fuck? She's just leaving that part out. When beautiful women get with regular guys, there's a lot less cheating going on. That's why if you're a regular guy, you take that deal. What the fuck? No, you're cheating less. That's what I didn't say you stop. I say you cheat a lot less. See, once they set that bar, you don't go for the occasional 5 at that point. You don't do that. You get with Chloe Bailey, and yes, you go in with the intention to cheat, but you will only cheat with somebody who is within epsilon of her. She has now set that bar. She has set a new bar for your penis that most women don't qualify for. You cheat on her with her sister. You cheat on her within reason of her looks standard, which means, and you will have fewer opportunities to do so. Far fewer. And the few opportunities you do have to do so, it's because they see you with her. And that is the truth of the matter. GC, how would you rate Daisy Duck's loyalty to Donald Duck? They don't have any kids. So it's interesting that they don't have kids. I'm gonna say that. Actually, were they even together? But every kid that was on the show or with them were always nephews or something like that. Like Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Yeah.
Also cheated on. Gwen Stefani, she got cheated on too. Being conventionally beautiful is great and all, but if that's all you have going for you, sorry, but that's going to get boring.
So basically, all the women she just listed, she's saying that that's all they had going for them.
Boring pretty quick.
That's all Gwen Stefani had going for her. That's all Angelina Jolie had going for her. That's all Kylie Jenner had going for her. You see what she's doing? This is madness. She can still get it though, because of how you look. I don't like you.
Quickly.
The reason why those women that you consider ugly or unattractive or who don't fit the standard or societal ideals
Look at
of
this
beauty
chick.
often get.
Look at her glasses. Okay, I want to see what she got to say.
Sorry, but that's going to get boring pretty quickly.
The reason why those women that you consider ugly or unattractive or who don't fit the standard or societal ideals of beauty often get the best men and get treated the best is because they have more to offer than looks. They have more to bring than just their bodies, and they have more to give than just their goodies.
This is why humans are multi.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that chick. The reason why unattractive women get with top quality guys is because unattractive women convince attractive women to wait their turn in the Black community. I'm going to repeat that. Unattractive women has convinced attractive women to wait their turn. Unattractive women have convinced attractive women to wait their turn. That's why they do that. Meaning that if you have a group of friends amongst Black women, and I'm not talking about Danica Marie, shout out to her. I'm not talking about Danica Marie, but in a circle of Black friends, Black female friends, the most attractive one will wait to all the uglier women get married first before she even considers marriage. And you want to know why she does that? Because she's stupid. She's stupid. And you want to know why I know she's stupid? Because birds of a feather is supposed to flock together. That's why you don't see beautiful birds of paradise just kicking it with some penguins and chickens and turkeys and crap. Birds of a feather is supposed to flock together. But they don't, but their flock be all kind of crap. All kind of crap. Like, you ever notice that Whoopi Goldberg, Tasha K, and what's her name? Dang, what's that ugly broad name? Leslie Jones. You ever notice that they don't kick it? Ever notice that they don't kick it? Take the movie Set It Off. Why in the hell is Queen Latifah even there? Why would they listen? In any other society, they would not even be friends. In any other society, Queen Latifah would be carrying Vivica Fox's luggage. Like, this does not make sense in any other community but the Black community. And because of this thinking, attractive women wait their turn. They don't feel the pressure until the ugly broads get married. And that's the real reason why in our community, fat ugly marries first.
Multifaceted. We are so much more than our looks alone, which in today's day and age is great news. If you have been looking in the mirror and feeling down about yourself because you're like, I don't fit the beauty standard, I don't have a slim, thick body, I'm not a size 0.
Oh,
looks alone, which in today's day and age is great news. If you have been looking in the mirror and feeling down about yourself because you're like, I don't fit the beauty standard, I don't have a slim, thick.
How you gonna be fat and Asian? How are you gonna be fat and Asian? You that's a waste of Asian. It's like being a Black man with a little penis. You just fucked up all you at that point you're just all around fucked up. This woman is all around fucked up. Cambodian women tend to be heavy set. Well, they are a black medium, but this is just wrong. You have a mandate, like once you're an Asian woman, once you're an Oriental woman, you have a mandate to not be fat because, damn it, you got one job.
Big body. I'm not a size 0. Take heart, my friend, because what makes you beautiful encompasses so much more than just.
Yes, and it pissed me off. And you know who I blame? Niggas. I blame black men who these chubby chasing black men for the reason that fat ass Asian chicks think that they got a chance with me. Because I know when they come my way and say, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, would you have come to me if I were white or Asian? Would you think that because I am black and we have a reputation for depraved mating standards that I want to be with your fat ass? And I don't. I'll tell you a story about a date I was on with a Hmong woman, right? So I got with her. I thought she was cute, right? And then she took me to her friend's house. And her friend, so they do kind of like we have Tubi now. And we had like black exploitation movies. We had black exploitation movies. So back in the DVD days, the Hmong communities had like these black exploitation or Hmong exploitation type movies that they pass around in their community. And she said that she was going to be that they were going to go over and talk about making this movie. So it was going to be her and some friends, and she invited me, and I went. It was one of the worst nights of my life. All of her friends were hotter. I thought she was cool. I thought she was attractive. All of her friends were hotter, and all of their boyfriends was less handsome than me. It was terrible. The deal was terrible, and I didn't realize what type of a shitty deal. Like, because one of the chicks who was going to be the star of the movie, like she had like a whole. It was her house. She had like a whole lineup of DVD collections, and with her picture on it. So she starred in like 20 to 40 local Hmong movies, right? And she was freaking bad. I was like, dang. I am really getting a short end of the dick here. And then, and they didn't speak American. They just kept talking Hmong, 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 all damn night. They was just Hmonging each other back and forth. It was annoying. But in addition to how annoying it is to listen to Hmong talk all night, just the thought of knowing that I got the ugly one. And I was more handsome than their dudes. So I just left that situation. I couldn't leave because she drove. Oh, and they drive like crap. That was another thing. And they drive like crap. That's not just a stereotype. It was awful. It took us forever to get there. I'm looking around like, because she was just driving real slow. Man, y'all be bringing up some painful memories. A crap like, now granted, she wasn't like fat like this chick here. I'm thinking I got a good deal, but nope. Could have finessed that. They didn't even speak American. Stop talking like everybody got this game skill that they just go around and pick up like Hmong actresses while dating her friend right in front of her. Stop pretending like that. What are you gonna do? Just go? They didn't have Google Translate back then. What are you gonna go? You gonna kick that Hmong game? What are you talking about?
Your physical appearance. The thing that most people seem to forget is that you could be the most attractive person in a room, and yet not everyone in that room is going to find you attractive. Say there's 10 people in the room.
That doesn't matter. That don't mean that you're not attractive. Do you need like 100%, approval before you're considered attractive? I mean, it's just like a good toothbrush. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend it. But do you really need that 5th one? I use Listerine. Listerine kills 99.9% of germs. Do I really give a shit about that 0.1% of germs? You know, like, oh yeah, it doesn't mean that it kills all the germs. She getting on my nerves. And I like Aussie people. She getting on my nerves. Hit who? Who are you talking about? None of these Hmong girls, they don't speak American. Like the only one that spoke American was the one I was with. That was it. That was her edge. Like they get together and they make movies in Hmong. The movies are in Hmong that they sell to other Hmong people. You could have finessed. See, y'all live in a fantasy world where dudes just lick their lips like LL Cool J and she just drop her Hmong panties and kick her friend out or something. What are y'all talking about? I met Too Short in person. He real cool people.
6 might think you're a babe, and then the other 4 might be like, she's not my type.
I think Michelle was the most attractive. How she looked, how she carried herself, and it just seems like someone that's going to live an exciting life, I guess you could say, or that you could have like a deep conversation with.
I think that Maria was the most attractive for me. It was just like her whole vibe, and like I liked how her hair was, how her makeup was done. Like she looked very nice.
It doesn't mean you're ugly. It just means that beauty is subjective. I know it sounds cliche, but beauty really is in the eye of the beholder. And what one person finds attractive, another might find ugly.
Beauty is not in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is the number of people that wish that they were beholding you. That's what that is. Beauty is the number of people that wish they be holding you. What are you talking about? See, it's that foolishness. It's that foolishness that they like to try to pass off as ancient wisdom.
Like Kendall Jenner or Megan Fox is not the only way to be attractive. These women look nothing like the quote-unquote hot girls of today, and yet their partners think they are the hottest women in the world. They may not fit society's standard of beauty, but they fit their husband's standard of beauty. And if that is not the...
No, I agree that this is a one-off, but don't try to make this a social norm. Beauty is beauty. And whatever Ronald Calhoun say, it does have value. Beautiful women are better at being women than not so beautiful women. And that is just a fact of the matter. And they are more worthy of your attention.
The very definition of beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then I don't know what is. For example, and I'm talking men here, but you could apply this logic to any gender. Some men appreciate curves. Others prefer an athletic body. Some men like women with curly hair, and others prefer straight. Some like blondes, others like brunettes. You get what I'm saying here. What makes someone attractive is actually a combination of all.
We know what ugly is. Stop pretending. Listen, stop taking these one-off scenarios where guys have fetishes, you know, or some crap like that. We all know what pretty is. And then there are guys who adjust their fetish to whatever will fuck them that night. You know, I'm not even going to discuss those guys. I like big booty African women. Everybody like big booty African women.
All these things that contribute to someone's overall appeal. Have you ever met someone and you're just like, they are so hot? Even though on paper, they may not technically be your type, and you can't really put your finger on what makes you find them so attractive, but there's just something about them, like an X factor, a certain je ne sais quoi, that makes you find them so damn hot. Because that's the thing, my friends. You don't have to be the prettiest girl in the room.
Okay. The inability to vocalize why you are so attracted to a woman doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. This is a true story, right? I was working with a woman who was an attractive woman. But I was more attracted to her for an inexplicable reason. She was attractive, but it wasn't just her looks. It was like It's like a chemical. Oh, by the way, she had no interest in me whatsoever. She was older. She was older. She was like a med student at Stanford and all this stuff, right? And and I think I wasn't even legal to her. So she had like no interest in me whatsoever. But in addition to the visual attraction I had to her, there was like a strong chemical attraction that I felt when it wasn't even near. And come to find out, and my friend gave me a theory on this. Y'all can tell me what y'all think, but I don't know if it's true now that I'm older, but it made sense back then. Come to find out, she later told me that, because I told my friend about her, I'm an older dude, and she later told me that she was pregnant, just not showing, and she was pregnant, and my friend guessed this. He was like, "Well, she's having a boy, isn't she?" And I was like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" He was like, "Well," and this is old head logic. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know, but he said that when a woman is pregnant with a boy, the boy is absorbing all of the hormones, but none of the estrogen. So her estrogen was just like out of control, and it was just drawing you in. I don't know if that's true. Could be like boomer science, but there was something. There was a there. Like I was more attracted to her than I was visually and mentally. There was like an extra factor that I can't explain that was going on with me and her, with my attraction to her, I should say.
You don't have to meet society's unrealistic standards of beauty to be drop dead gorgeous. Sure, looks are interesting, but looks also fade. And if you are relying solely on your looks to get you a life partner, I'm sorry, but you're going to be sorely disappointed.
No,
you know what
shouldn't
doesn't
rely
fade?
solely on anything. You shouldn't rely solely on anything. You should rely on looks and all the other stuff that I like.
Of humor, intelligence, creativity, kindness, passion, ambition, empathy, the shape of your body, the color of your hair, the size of your belly, like literally all that pales in comparison. So why do ugly women
That does not
attract
pale in
hot men?
comparison.
Well,
Wait a minute.
here's a novel idea.
The size of a woman's belly doesn't pale in comparison. See, this is why so many fat broads.
Perhaps they're not ugly at all. They may not be your cup of tea, and that's fine, but their partner thinks they're a stunner. And just perhaps these women have more to them than just their face or their body. Maybe, just maybe, they attracted these attractive men because they have epic personalities. Maybe they get along with each other. Maybe they share a similar sense of humor, or they get along with each other's families, or they have similar life stories, or they share similar ethics. The idea that physical attractiveness is the sole factor in attracting a partner is quite frankly simply not accurate.
Nobody ever says it's the sole factor. Like presents isn't the sole joy for a kid on Christmas, but it is a top joy. It is a top thing. It tops the experience.
So many factors contribute to attraction. An attractive man may be attracted to a woman not because of what she looks like at all. He might find himself drawn to her because she possesses qualities that he himself values. And here's the crux of it. A woman doesn't need to have an Instagram body or a tweakmented face or big boobs or big butt or big pouty lips. She doesn't need to look perfect by society's beauty standards in order to deserve a man who others may think is too rich or too good looking or too...
She don't need it, but it greatly increases her chances. And I like it, so give me.
Successful for her. Relationships and people are complex and multifaceted, and the dynamics of attraction are influenced by a multitude of factors far beyond physical appearance.
I think that she wants women to be comfortably ugly to eliminate competition for herself. I really do. I think that she wants women to be comfortably ugly to eliminate competition for herself, which is madness. So this is the world we live in. Everybody is pushing for men to embrace ugly ass bitches. This is our life. This is our life. And another thing, Australian men look like shit. And that's probably why she's like that. Now, I've never been to Australia, but it was a bunch of them walking around the Philippines. Yeah. Which means she comes from a place in the world where the women are significantly higher than the men, and she's probably tired of that, and she wants to see some reverse. All right, let's see some of the comments. What was that? Was that a super chat or was that a cash app? Let me see. All right, it was, yeah. All right, and this one is from Ronald Calhoun. I appreciate you, brother. It says, for the added stress, you crack me up. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks a lot for the large super chat. All right, not my bad. The large cash app. All right. Well, no, Crocodile Dundee would be handsome by comparison. But it was like a skin thing that they had going on. They had like random warts, grotesquely out of shape, you know. And I was looking at the Filipina prostitutes with just like complete sorrow. I was looking at them with like complete sorrow, like dang, this is your life, this is your customer base. It's either some like small penis Korean or some pickle shaped Aussie. I was like, dang, this is terrible. This is terrible. That is the penis you must suck. This is terrible. So that's a thing. And maybe in their own country they look different, but that's a thing. And but apparently the women are reasonably attractive, so I don't know what's going on, but yeah. All right, let's see. Plus, hypergamy isn't panning out here because she forget that men want what they want. Yeah, exactly. See, men aren't, don't get me wrong, men can be convinced to want something that we don't want, but it's harder. It's harder. That's why women change fashion a lot quicker than men. You know, black men have been rocking the waves for quite some time until we, recently changed after decades. But women, they change all the damn time. They change their panties more often than we change our drawers. Figuratively speaking, of course. Never said it didn't have value. Okay, we agree. I said it doesn't devalue other solid women. Well, it doesn't have to devalue. See, here's the thing. They not gaining a point doesn't mean that they're losing points. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that they're losing points if they don't gain points. But it does mean that an attractive woman with the same qualities as a average woman do have more points than the average woman. And that's what that means. A lot of betas take what they get. And it's nothing wrong with taking what you could get, but want what you want. You know, like don't tell me that this woman is not beautiful just because I'm with a less beautiful woman. I know, listen, women do the same thing. There are many women, who with me wish that they were with somebody else. So on the movie Sugar Hill, right? There's that guy who you see him on movies from time to time. The guy that played Wesley Snipes' brother. He was like, listen, every woman I wanted to fuck you. But I fucked them anyway. Yeah. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, I don't. Yeah, but I fucked him anyway. Like, I mean, that's what it comes down to. That's disgusting, Little Rock. Okay. He would not be with her this time next year. Like big booty African women. All right. Michael Wright. That's a skinny dude. Better how? I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree, but I think that's the price that the guy pays for convenience because they're doing the chasing. Women typically don't chase, so yeah. Tell that to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who is he married to? Any beautiful women I've had, it was brief and short but fun. Okay, I mean, did you marry an unbeautiful woman? Like, because then if that's the case, then that was also brief but short but fun. Beautiful women don't necessarily choose men who looks better than them, or they just would date male models. Yeah, well, see, I mean, women who have long-term designs, are willing to date down on the looks in exchange for commitment. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something because I'm wise. Women fuck up but marry down. I'm gonna repeat that. Women fuck up but marry down. I'm gonna say that one more time. Women fuck up but marry down. What does that mean? It means a woman who's a 7 fucks 9s but will marry a 5. That's why on the dating apps, because these are hookup apps, it seems like there's a 80-20 rule and stuff like that going on. That's because they're looking for somebody to fuck. So it's like, listen, if you're a woman and you look for somebody to fuck, why not fuck somebody 2 points higher than you? But if they're looking for a guy that they are certain that is likely to bend that knee, like Jon Snow, they're like, all right, a 5 will do, because she knows that eventually she'll turn into a 5. Write it down. That's my wisdom. Women fuck up and marry down. Now, the problem with modern women with this philosophy, with this wise philosophy, is that some of them have been fucking up so long they don't know how to marry down. I'm going to repeat that. Some of them have been fucking up so long that they don't know how to marry down. And they try to marry up and they wind up like Vivica Fox. They wind up like, Lisa Ray. They wind up and they just wound up. They don't know how to marry. I mean, when you've been fucking 9s for 20 years and you turn 38 or something like that, how do you tell somebody who's been fucking 9s to start fucking a 5? You don't. You can't. She's stuck in that. She is literally a fuck up. She is a lifelong fuck up at that point. I'm funny. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Actually, let me take a look at my likes. Because y'all be on some retard shit. I'll close this motherfucker down right now. All right, let's see. Hold on, let me check my likes. All right, that's decent. I get like 10 more minutes. Alpha fucks beta bucks. Well, beta fucks too. So I think brothers really need to change their perception of first of all, this whole alpha beta thing don't really apply to humans like that. But so because of my dealings in BDSM, I it don't happen as much anymore, probably because I have a reputation now. But I used to get, and maybe it's an age thing, I used to get requests, even propositions for money, for me to cuck white guys' wives. And I never did it because there's a number of reasons, but I just don't do crap like that. I don't. If you do that, then do you, but I don't. And one thing that I used to think about in doing that was how bothered by the scenario that these white guys were. How unthreatened. They didn't really feel anything. They didn't feel like, I can't satisfy my wife in this way, so I'm less than and blah blah blah. They were just like, hey, I can't satisfy my wife in this way. I'll find somebody that does. They didn't feel beta. That's my point. They didn't feel beta. They're like, listen, I provide, I do this for my wife, and if she wants some of that BBC from time to time, then hey, I'll help her find it. Like, there's a certain type of I don't know. There's a certain type of peace that they had with that I found interesting. And I've seen it firsthand. I'm gonna tell this quick story. I've seen it firsthand, but this was something different. I think dude was on the simp spectrum. So full disclosure, it's called voyeurism and exhibitionism. I like both. But in this particular instance, I was there in a voyeuristic capacity at this orgy. So I was watching these two people and have sex, and then older woman, by older, she was anywhere between 60 and 80. Older white woman, still decent body, had somebody ask me if I would come and fuck her. And then I said, sure, as soon as I'm finished watching this over here, I'll do that, right? Now, of course, I'm saying that to be polite. I had no intention of going over there and doing that, all right? So, I finished watching and then I just left. I just left the room. And then a little bit, and her husband was there. I forgot to mention that. Her husband was there. And he was just sitting in the living room. So when I was done looking, I go out to the living room to give me something to drink. He's sitting there, and then she comes out, and then he stands up with like a country accent. He was like, "You ready to go?" And she said, "I got my coat on, don't I?" And then he just opened the door and they left. I was like, dang, this dude was like, really? That's your life, You just wait patiently in the living room while your wife gets smashed out by a bunch of BBCs, and then she comes out like you're ready to go. And then she got an attitude on top of everything else. Like, so, hey, whatever floats that man's boat. But the point is that what was my point with that? Let's talk about cuckold. Oh, the whole alpha. You know, I don't know. I want to change the perception. Like, I'm not saying be comfortable with somebody else smashing your wife out. I'm just saying, just because a woman is attracted to somebody else's physical prowess doesn't mean you're a beta. You know, that's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm not saying be like any of these dudes. I'm not saying be a cuck and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, we as black people, probably because we have strong physical prowess, we as black men, we put a premium on it. Like, we're not a man unless, and unless we land that pipe. Or listen, I am well past that. I don't give a fuck anymore. It's just like that song. You don't come, I ain't gonna die. Like, I mean, it's like, what the fuck? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I don't bully people's wives. Just so you know, I don't do that shit. Not getting laid or being in a relationship doesn't make you a beta. Yeah. Listen, like, animals lives in prides, or these small isolated sectors where, to be an alpha you got to beat out 7 other gorillas. That's, humans don't live like that. We live in large complex societies of millions. We live in major metropolitan cities. Like, what's an alpha in that situation? Come on now, let's not. It's not even the same thing. What, are you going to beat out 1 million guys just to say, oh, I'm an alpha here? Like, it doesn't fly with humans. It flies with all the other primates except bonobos, because bonobos are nasty, nasty primates. But stuff like that don't apply to humans. We are very dynamic beings, the most so on the planet. So I'm not talking about that Hmong girl. Not only did I not finesse her friends, I stopped messing with the other one. I felt shamed. I felt shamed. I felt shamed. Like I didn't feel like I was getting the short end of the dick until I seen what everybody else was getting. Kind of like your kid, you trick or treating, and you get like a nice bag or a bucket of candy, and then you look at somebody else's candy and you feel like shit. That's exactly how I felt. Supersized fupa, yep. Oh, here it was. Okay. Most dudes I know have tried to smash chicks. I was smashing, or previously smashed. Something kind of suspect about that shit to me. Well, I don't. I mean, why is that suspect? I mean, she's not gonna stop smashing people. Somebody's gonna smash after you. Um, are you saying that your friends are trying to do that? It's a little weird in a circle, but I mean, if she's an attractive woman, she's gonna, I don't. Yeah, that's not weird to me. But we all have our things. Oh, that's right. He had that maid. I always want to fuck a maid. Like my maid. I never had a dedicated maid. I ordered it, the people to come and clean up my house, but that's like just like it's a difference between a personal driver and ordering a Uber from time to time. I mean, like, my personal maid. There is this movie, and it's some type of Oriental movie. And it's on Netflix, called Housemaid. And oh my god, that shit was spectacular. Dude was fucking his maid because his wife was pregnant, and and that shit was wild. Gonna keep that in mind. Cool. Because that's what they truly qualified for. That's what they qualified for long term. Absolutely. That's dual mating strategy. That's exactly what that is. Yeah. Well, it's a strategy for mating, and it's a strategy for marriage. They have two separate strategies. That's really bad. And that most certainly wasn't true when I was that age, which really shows how certain factors that we discuss on this channel has affected the dating mating market. But then there's something else at play there. There's something else afoot. And this is something I also admire about non-Black people. And well, let me read this first. 60% of men 18 to 30 have never had sex or been in a relationship. In college, and y'all know what I majored in, I was surprised at how many Indians and Orientals were perfectly comfortable not only being virgins in college, but talking about the fact that they were virgins. And furthermore, they even would turn down women that they're not attracted to, unlike Black men. Black men, if you are 20s, if you're in your 20s and you're still a virgin, then you start looking at women who should not be looked at. They don't adjust their standards just because of their own personal scarcity situation. And they were perfectly comfortable talking about, yes, I'm a virgin, especially the Indian ones who wait for marriage. But they're guaranteed marriage. They're culturally guaranteed marriage because, they get arranged marriages at 25. Their mother fixed them up with somebody. So, they're not tripping. They're not out taking courses on game and stuff, which is almost always futile. They just comfortable making high grades and, and doing what they do. And also, and this is part of being a part of nerd society, is that so unlike with my Black friends, there was I admire how they found ways to enjoy themselves absent pussy. For example, with Black friends, it's all about like throwing parties, fraternity parties and stuff like that. But women are always involved, and the chase is always in the backdrop of whatever it is you're doing. Where with them, there was no chase, and it was really more about, let's get together for Dungeons and Dragons, or let's have a LAN party or something like that, or like a video game thing. It's something like that. But they found comfort in each other's company. Absent pussy. Pause, no homo. All right. 2 more, then I gotta go. Not getting laid or being in a relationship doesn't make you a beta. I don't think so. Like I didn't, like I wasn't, when I was telling that story, what I said just now, I wasn't describing those guys as betas. Because once you take that posture, then what you're doing is you're giving women the power to determine if you're alpha or beta or not. And that's never going to be good. Once they have that power, they will weaponize that against you, and everything will go into shit. Because then they're choosing your alphas, meaning they're choosing your leaders. And they will quickly choose Derek Jackson. You're late, sir. What do you mean I'm late? You just got here, didn't you? But speaking about late, I'm about to close down. So, yeah, absolutely. They control your worth. Exactly. So that's why I don't even entertain such foolishness. So I would not let them determine my worth or the worth of another man. Because think about it like this. All they have to do is just stop fucking Andrew Tate, and then people will just stop listening to him. No. You know, like if they wanted to silence Kevin Samuels, they just stop fucking him, and then like his message is invalid. You see, that's foolishness. I don't fall for that. I don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Okay, so anyway, I'd like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. Hit that like button on your way out. GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.